So ladies and gentlemen of the DC Universe, welcome once again to another DC News Roundup video. And today, oh man, we are diving into more Superman set photos, showing Clark having a bit of a battle, but I won't say too much for those who don't really want to get into spoilers, although I think the photos we're going to get into today are not like that bad at all, and it's more just really my speculation as to what could be happening. So I do recommend sticking around for that, and to be honest, I'm dying for your thoughts on what you think could be happening. Then we're going to get into other updates with regards to Comic-Con, a chance of what could be, what could be going on with the Batman too, and other things in this video. Timestamps, as always, are in the video description, which none of you really seem to check, but you know what I'm going to say, I recommend sticking around for the whole video so you're up to date on absolutely everything. And by the way, consider subscribing, because 48% of you who have come back in the past month aren't subscribed to the channel, yet you keep coming back to a lot of my videos for a whole month. Maybe today is the day you're going to hit that red subscribe button and never miss out on a crucial update on the DC Universe. What I'm going to do is go through the photos, but then kind of go backwards at the end of the Superman segment of this video, because there's a video clip which I think maybe leads to what happens in these set photos. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Stick around for that part, because it's pretty crazy what's going on in that video clip between possibly Superman and another flying character. But as you can see here, and shout out to Greater Cleveland Partnership and Michael Collier, we have mayhem in Metropolis. We're going to start off easy here, right? Not too much going on, other than, of course, a bit of mayhem. The video clip shows, just normal traffic in Metropolis, but the citizens, as you can see, are most certainly running in a lot of panic. They're kind of like looking up there like, oh my god, like what the hell is happening? We kind of maybe need to get out of here, because let's just say maybe a Superman may be crashing down like a bloody meteorite, and we don't want to get splattered by him. And you can kind of see how that happens in this next photo. Greater Cleveland Partnership say boom. And basically what they've done on this street is they've dug a big hole. Like literally they've dug down, and I assume in this moment they showed Superman's impact into the ground through letting off like a mini explosion, so you see the dirt coming out as the people are running away. Brilliant photo that Michael Collier captured here of him saying, looks like Superman had a rough afternoon, and you see that they put David Corenswet in there, and he's like buried in there, by the way. So like the impact, like we need to give this guy some painkillers. Like my god. Once again, I need to kind of emphasize who has the power to really send Superman down to Earth and make a hole that size. And that's something I really want your input on in the comments. But as we can see, he's temporarily incapacitated, but he's not, guys, spoiler alert, Superman's not going to die in this movie. Or like, if you really want to go there, it'd be like a little fake out thing. If you want to say that Solaris drains him of his powers and he almost died, but they're not going to do a fake out Superman death. I'd be extremely surprised if they did that. So I think he's just getting his ass kicked. And that's something, again, just to tease it a little bit later, of what I think we're going to be seeing in a video clip that I'm about to play. But here, what I really like about what James Gunn is doing, and actually, before I get to the next thing, shout out to Jackson for creating this meme. If you've been here on the channel for a while, you'll know the blessing and the curse. But moving on, we can see, and shout out to Chad Harden here, we can see this is more of a little in-between filming, although he does come out of the hole. I think this is just, him taking some direction. But the main thing I wanted to get to is that there's a lot of Metropolis citizens who stick around, which is really cool. And we have Ian Meadows here with even more images showcasing that you have this one individual. I mean, you have a lot of people like gathering around Superman who's just been absolutely wrecked into the ground. But you can see that there's this one person who actually goes there and helps him stand up. Now, this isn't a situation like actually what a lot of people were thinking. Maybe you've actually thought it yourself during this video, but a lot of people were thinking, okay, you're gonna get that moment in Spider-Man 2 where Peter Parker gets helped up by a lot of New Yorkers, right? And we have Michael Collier who took these photos saying, I thought the same, but I watched them shoot this scene over and over today. It's only the one guy who runs from across the street to help him up, while everyone else kind of, nervously inches forward and pulls out their phones to record. So I think that is, very believable. A lot of people will be like, oh my god, it's Superman, oh my god. But, a lot of people might not be as, forward to actually go there and help him out, whereas one guy apparently does, which I think is really cool, and I can't wait to see that part, especially when there's been other set photos and where we can, if we read into it, it looks like Superman is perhaps being framed, and, he starts running away from some Metropolis citizens who may be like, saying things to him, saying, how could you? Did you really do that? So here there's a bit of a contrast where, considering that he's fighting someone very publicly, that very person, and you probably know where I'm going with this, that he's fighting, I think maybe at this point in the movie, and again, I need to stress, just fan speculation here, it's been apparent to all of the citizens of Metropolis that maybe they were wrong about Superman if they believed whatever happens to actually maybe get him framed. I'm sure it's something to do with Lex Luthor's master plans and puppeteering. And I really like these other photos from Michael Collier, just, more of the area captured where Superman is, smashed down into the hole. You can actually see that James Gunn is with him. We get some really good looks at the suit. And we actually see a storyboard, by the way, and you can bet your ass I've tried zooming into that, but unfortunately, you can make something out, but I can't really tell absolutely every detail from it, nor would I believe it or not here, nor would I really want to, but you can tell, as we know of James Gunn, these are all storyboards, what they want to do in this scene, and it could tell us basically what is happening, even though I think it's fairly obvious what is happening. I like how we get a sense of more Metropolis kind of fashion, if you will, because a lot of people are saying that this is, and observing this is like a retro-futuristic Metropolis, and I think that is true in a sense. I don't think it's as far retro-futuristic as what some people were making it out to be, like, like proper, like, utopian, retro-futuristic, Fallout-esque technology. Not really, because you're going to have, like, modern techie stuff, modern cars, so to speak, but I think, you're going to have some 70s-esque clothing attire for some people going to work. You're going to have diners and whatnot that have, 80s and 70s or even earlier vibes, to be honest, which I think, is only going to aid it in standing out from other cities and even other iterations of Metropolis. But at the same time, one thing I do want to chuck in here, although the suit is arguably battle damaged, it's not as battle damaged as we've seen it in some other photos, where it's actually reflective of the battle damage suit in the actual official reveal of the suit, where it's got black and blue up here, the emblem is all kind of worn, the belt is barely yellow, it's just got that little highlights of yellow because it's so like tarnished over of damage. The trunks are like a black and red, so they almost blend in with the blue. So I am wondering, as I always say, films aren't always filmed in order, so like that could have been even set from what you've seen recently with the black and blue suit battle damage version. That could have been set after this fight that we're seeing here of Superman getting launched into the ground, and it just gets even more damaged after this moment onwards in the film. But now we need to move on to the next most interesting bit, and that is a video clip from Michael Collier, and this shows, I think, what happens in the fight, perhaps just beforehand. The way I'd put it is that this is probably a big battle sequence comprised of like a couple of different scenes, or at least locations. So they might be fighting wherever in the sky, and then they like fly over and they get launched into this location here, which is the progressive field. But this ballpark will be, as DC Film News here points out, the Lord Tech field, which is very interesting for the Metropolis meteors. So you can imagine the fight will take them here as a game is actually ongoing. So the stadium is going to be like full of people, right? And then let's just say, for example's sake, Superman is like grappling with Ulysses / Ultraman / whoever the hell it is. Imagine the crowd seeing this happen. That's pretty wild to imagine. And in this video clip, things get savage. They really do. So here you can see that they're preparing for some stunt work to be filmed, in where basically two characters who have the ability to fly, something important to mention there. One is holding, so let's just say I'm flying horizontally and there's a person below me. I'm grabbing his head and smearing it into the dirt, the grass of the stadium, for like a good 20 to 40 meters. So you're like grinding their face into the ground. And I don't know if Superman is the one doing that or if Superman is the one eating the dirt. What I really love about this, by the way, is that this is something that they could easily do in CGI. Sure, CGI costs money, but the thing is, a lot of projects do tend to be like, oh, we're not gonna, why would we do that in person? Like, let's just, get the CGI people to create two CGI Supermen fighting like that. But they're like, no, we're not going to do that. we're actually going to do it practically. Go to a literal stadium, get 2 actors on wires who can fly. So let's just say, for example's sake, Superman and Ultraman, right? Or whatever iteration of Ultraman they're doing. And we're going to get them to manually fly sideways on a wire and push the other guy's head down into the floor. And make sure his face burns. Get some grass burn for like a good 30, 40 meters. That's really cool. So like it shows you the levels they're trying to go to capture the authentic feel, even for fight scenes in the movie. But who is this? So, Future Boba here. Typically, as of when recording this video, with the Superman filming today, it turns out they're actually shooting this scene. It's no longer like a stunt rehearsal. They've actually got the characters in the Lord Tech Stadium, and we know who the characters are in this showdown. So I am going to give you just a spoiler warning, even though we've obviously been over the fact that there's a fight. If you don't want to know the characters, we no longer need to speculate, so I will give you the opportunity to go to the next timestamp in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we know now that this fight at the Lord Tech field is between Superman, Mr. Terrific, the Engineer, and the Ultraman. I say like Ultraman, but you know, it's still up in the air. Is it Ulysses? Is it Ultraman? You get what I'm saying. But that same dude who was arresting Superman, well, yeah, he's back here again alongside the Engineer, just like he was in those photos when he was arresting Superman, along with Rick Flag Sr., and it looks like Mr. Terrific will be backing up Superman, and it could even be Mr. Terrific, of whom is the one who's actually getting his face, you know, smashed into the ground and dragged across by like 30 meters from the videos that I'm seeing right now. Now, I don't know if I can use some of the videos that I'm seeing from Cleveland.com, but I'll have to wait and see if Michael Collier manages to get some stuff, and maybe by the time I'm talking about this and editing it, you're seeing it on screen. But I thought I'd mention this because I did originally speculate, hey, is it going to be this character? Is it going to be that character? I wasn't far off, but I didn't actually expect there to be more than Superman and Ultraman, of which was my thinking. It's actually Ultraman, if you want to call him that, and the Engineer as well as Mr. Terrific going to bat for Superman. I guess all that's left to say is let me know what you guys think, but there's some savage moves being thrown here, and I really don't think this will be an empty stadium. A lot of people are going to see that, and I think the fight could take us to different places in the city, all without, like, I think James Gunn is aware enough to not kind of let the destruction be Man of Steel level. Sure, like, you might get a hole in the street, and some, like, you might need to lay down some new lawn in the stadium. But I don't think they're going to, like, destroy Metropolis. Maybe a bit of rubble here and there. And don't forget that Superman, is still going to be filming for quite a while yet. We've got some road closures here going all the way up to Saturday, July 20th. And, they're going to be filming in Cincinnati. They're meant to stop filming, I think, as of the end of July. There's going to be a lot going on. So just bear with me if I don't get to everything. Or if you're just like, why hasn't Boba covered this over the weekend? Don't forget that, I might be busy on the weekend kind of thing. It's my fiance's birthday tomorrow. So I don't know if anything comes out like crazy, like as of right now, just know I'll get to it when I get to it. But speaking of filming, well, we have another DCU project filming with our first look at it, and there's not too much to say here, but a massive shout out to Jim Zorn, who also is a photographer who let me use his photos. Would you believe that? Thank you so much, man. And yes, so he's captured Peacemaker Season 2 filming in downtown Dallas. Lots of activity on set, and I assume, we could be seeing some more coming out of this, so keep your eyes peeled on the channel. I will keep you posted. But here we have John Cena as Peacemaker, and he's like wearing some kind of, I don't know what that is. It's like kind of like a shirt. Yeah, I guess that's a shirt. Kind of likened to in like the Suicide Squad movie where they go out on that night out. I assume that either they're undercover and they're just going somewhere in plain clothing. Team Peacemaker that is, because we know the crew are coming back. John Economos, Leoto Adebayo, Freddie Stromer's Vigilante, Harcourt, and whatnot. But this could just actually be some time off that he's spending with the casting, who could be his best friend, which we went over in recent videos as well. But again, to stress, not too much going on, but it does warm my heart seeing how much is gearing to go in the DCU. It's not even gearing to go. They're going. They're filming. They're operating. And, we've got a busy year ahead of us, guys. This is all filming. Lanterns will be filming eventually. Waller will be filming. Supergirl will be filming. There's a lot going on. The Batman 2 eventually. And speaking of, so I'll leave Peacemaker there, but I thought I'd chuck that tidbit in the video. Speaking of, to end off this video, we've had news that at San Diego Comic-Con, it could turn out to be true that some of these rumors may have some truth to them. So Grace Randolph, as you guys know, said that, and I still don't know about this one, but I entertained this in my other video, and how the Batman 2 will have some cast announced at Comic-Con. Wasn't sure about that, but I entertained two ways as to how that could happen. Long story short, for example, I said how Matt Reeves, when writing the script, in the script writing stage, he literally wrote the character of the Riddler in mind for Paul Dano. He wrote Batman and Bruce Wayne with Robert Pattinson in mind. And we know that Robert Pattinson even had meetings with the producer Dylan Clark well before casting even happened. So I just argued that if you want to entertain Grace Randolph's rumor, you could say that they may have had very, very early preliminary conversations with a similar thing that may have happened with Matt Reeves writing for, let's just say, the new Rogues Gallery character in mind with a certain actor. Okay? But we don't know. It really might not be true. But she did also say that Matt Reeves' Batverse in some way, shape, or form would be at Comic-Con, which wasn't a truly hard thing to believe. I'm not like putting her down there, but what we have found out here, that Matt Reeves will be at Comic-Con. Now, Future Boba again here for the San Diego Comic-Con talk. So not only, obviously, do we have what I was saying with regards to the Penguin having a presence at Comic-Con, well, now we've actually had an announcement of DC in general at San Diego Comic-Con in terms of not only the panels and what we're going to see there, but also DCU merch, the first official merchandise that you can get for Superman. Also, you can see there's Creature Commando shirts there. This is literally just happening as I'm recording this right now. So as you can see, scrolling down the list here, we have a My Adventures with Superman panel at 10 to 11 a.m. And then we're getting a Superman and Lois panel with a special video presentation. So probably going to get a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con for the fourth and final season. Really looking forward to covering that. Then some various other panels, but as you can see, Batman Caped Crusader, joint executive producer Matt Reeves, and cast members Hamish Linklater, etc. for a bit of a Q&A. But as you can see with the Penguin, there is panelists there, including Colin Farrell, who's attending virtually, Kristen Milioti, Renzi Felives, Matt Reeves. So this is what I mean. We could get a question asked there about how progress is going on with the Batman 2 and if there is anything they can tease. But Lauren LaFranc, the showrunner, Dylan Clark, executive producer. So this is great. Like, this is really, really interesting. And, you know, we're all going to be paying a lot of attention to the Penguin panel in terms of actual Batverse substance. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to all the Penguin gossip we can get out of this, the teasers, a new trailer, in fact. But, you know, I don't see how you can do a Q&A without addressing the sequel to the first movie. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. I would say don't hold your breath. Don't get your expectations up to a point of, oh my God, we're going to get so much Batverse stuff that I've been waiting for. Just be surprised if it happens in a very pleasant, surprising way. But in the meantime, I'm still low-key excited for Comic-Con because, you know, Creature Commandos trailer, our first look. You know, Penguin, a new trailer, a new Joker trailer potentially. I don't see why not. You know, it's coming out in October, so what? You know, we've only had a teaser so far. So I will keep you up to date on anything and absolutely everything coming our way when we get new stuff. Future Boba here again. Now, we've also learned that Max Originals, The Penguin and Dune Prophecy will be moving to HBO, which is very interesting considering that I think this was being spoken about around about a week or two ago, and I believe it wasn't originally being moved because they had already advertised it as a Max Original. But this is pretty cool because this shows you how much confidence they have in The Penguin, as well as Dune Prophecy, of course. But we have Deadline here saying that last month, Warner Bros. Discovery shifted 3 of its highest-profile Max Originals, Harry Potter, Lanterns, and It prequel, Welcome to Derry, to become HBO Originals. The company is now continuing this shift with the move of The Penguin and Dune Prophecy. Both shows will now premiere on HBO as well as launching on its Max streaming service. It is part of a strategy to rebrand its highest-profile titles into HBO Originals, giving them a linear airing on the premium cable network as well as a streaming bow. So I saw some people wondering, wait, does this mean it's not really even going to stream on Max for a while or something like that? I don't think that is the case. I think they just have the confidence in it in terms of how we don't put, shows or whatever on HBO, the premium cable network, unless, it's peak of the peak in terms of quality, like, Game of Thrones and Westworld Season 1. And obviously, they have so much confidence in the Penguin that they're going to air it on that premium cable network, so people who have access to that on their TV will be watching it. But you can also watch it on Max as well. It's still a little bit unclear if it will be like a simultaneous release, because I have seen some people concerned, thinking, okay, are they gonna, air it on, the premium cable network channel, HBO, and then you have to wait a little while to stream it on Max, or will you be able to stream it on Max as soon as it starts airing on your HBO channel? I think that will be the case, because, I think they're just basically giving it an option to be on HBO for all of those people who have that channel and think it's, a prestigious channel for prestigious shows, if you will, and they're just trying to big it up, basically. Just like how they have that same confidence, or at least tackling the DCU Lantern show with the same confidence to even put it on the premium cable network, in addition to the Max streaming service. So with that being said, do subscribe to the channel to never miss out on the future news update video. Let me know your thoughts down in that comment section on everything that we discussed in this video. Expand on what I said. Maybe there's something I didn't think about where you're like, Boba, why didn't you say this with regards to who Superman could be fighting? I don't know, but you can let me know down in the comments below. Other than that, would really appreciate a like, but I'm going to love you and leave you now, guys. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you people of the DC Universe in the next video. Goodbye.